Buffalo is going to win it home.
The Bills make me run. Kick your heels up and shout.
Let's see why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.
Buffalo Bills go undefeated. And we're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Now, baby, come on, come on.
No one
Come on
circles the
and
wagon
shout.
like the Buffalo Bills.
All right, we are live, and we are back. Welcome to another episode of the Overdue Bills podcast. And listen, there is a lot to talk about. A lot has happened in the past few days, and we're here today. Listen, so we had to have a show. Gots to have a show. So we came to give the people what they need. And shout out to the guys who are here today. Shout out to Raz. Shout out to Matt. Matt, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. You know, got a little bit of excitement this time of year. You know, it's March Madness time, but then we sprinkle in that beginning of that NFL season. We start getting into to football thoughts. You know, after that doom and gloom we faced at the end of the season. So I'm happy to be here, man.
Listen, they say this is where champions are made. This is where champions are made. That's what they say. So we'll see. So Raz, how you doing? I guess you don't feel that way, but
I mean, we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of teams that quote unquote win the offseason, but you know what do that give them? So I'll say, you know, free agency is a good time as a Bills fan, excitement. But you know, we'll see where that lands you.
it's a fact. So yeah, we'll see. It's a lot to talk about. Definitely appreciate everybody that's coming on even now. Shout out to the website, overduebillspod.com. Overduebillspod.com. That's where you can find all Overdue Bills merch, all Overdue Bills content, all Overdue Bills everything. So shout out to overduebillspod.com. And shout out to Buffalo fan base. We appreciate them, appreciate the collab.
Next.
And all those amazing things. And we ask you to like, share, rate, and review. Follow us on all platforms. And Matt, if you could be so kind, please let the people know who is our presenting sponsor.
Yes, so we did a slight change with the sponsor this year. You know, same people, different avenue. So this season of the episode, the Overdue Bills, we're gonna have a new presenting sponsor. This episode and every other episode is going to be brought to you by AOG Cigar Lounge. AOG Cigar Lounge, located at 3495 Delaware Avenue, is the premier cigar lounge in Western New York. AOG has a welcoming atmosphere to all levels of cigar smokers, including an amazing selection of your favorite cigars and a massive selection of your favorite drinks to pair with your smokes. Stop in today to get some work done, catch a game, or just get with friends. You know, stop in, check the lounge out today. They have amazing memberships available, a lot of perks with your memberships. You know, when you go and sign up, or you can go get a day pass. As an Overdue Bills listener, if you purchase a membership from now to the NFL draft, you will receive an Overdue Bills t-shirt. So definitely go check out the lounge. If you're a lounge member, you know, definitely take advantage of that right now. We're going to run a little special. Also, from every episode that we do, you'll have a week to go in and get a complimentary day pass to go check out the lounge, so you can go weigh your options and things of that nature. We're going to have a lot of specials, a lot of events coming up this season with our sponsor. So definitely tune in with us every week to learn how to take advantage of that, and you know, go check out the guys at the lounge and you know, go enjoy that as a special token for listening to us. But yeah, shout out to those guys. We're going to be rocking with them all season.
Hey,
Definitely.
G, shout out to the upgrade. I like it. It look dope, man. Shout out to AOG.
Definitely shout out to AOG Art of Glass. Definitely appreciate them. So please go tap in there. Listen, let's get into the show, man. We again like, share, rate, and review, do all those amazing things. We went live, but we know a lot of people gonna watch it on the playback. So there's a lot to be said. We know the questions are coming in even now, but I want to start off every show the same way. Quick question of the day. Y'all know how we do it. And I wanted to ask this question because it's kind of informative as what's happening even now. And it's a two-part question.
Uh-oh.
The first part is, in your estimation, and this is for everybody, you can, it's really subjective in a sense. But I'm asking Matt and Rad and anybody in the comments if you want to answer this. As far as Bills history, who was the best player we signed? In your estimation, a signed player, not necessarily a drafted player, because we're not on a draft just yet, but a signed player, not a player we traded for, but just a signed player. Obviously, we're having a whole bunch of signings as it relates right now. So who was the best player that we signed? And then the other part of that question is, who is the worst player that we've signed? Right? The best player and the worst player. Listen, we're going to have some fun with it before we get into the nitty-gritty. But if you can think it, I'm just so people can know, I'm springing this on them.
The best player that played for us, or just the best player?
No, the best player that played for the Buffalo Bills. Who was the best player that we have signed? I'll go first. So just to give y'all some time to think.
You got it.
I'll go first. I would say the best player we've signed is in recent history. Not even recent history. Probably Jordan Poyer is the best player we've signed. Like signed free agent. Poyer was safety. I believe he came in 17. I want to say 17. He came in 17. And I mean Jordan Poyer was amazing for us, right? All pro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just a stud, just a legitimate stud, a player that we signed. He fit the bill. He probably actually exceeded the billing because he was a 7th round pick. It wasn't like he was like, you know what I mean? This is world beater per se, but like him coming to us, all pro honors, so on and so forth. Like Jordan Poyer was simply nothing short of amazing.
I like that.
That's the best player.
I would say. Was London Fletcher good for us? London Fletcher?
Yeah, I think he was. I mean, he was an Iron Man. He had, he continued his 100 tack. He was a captain. So I mean, if that tells you anything, he
no.
I
mean, like no. I mean, but I don't like when people think Bills. Do people say, "Oh, London Fletcher"? Like no.
Nobody. I mean, people think Poyer. Is that a?
Absolutely. Jordan Poyer is a top 27 safety of all time, probably.
Yeah. What is he?
Absolutely.
Like he Hall of Fame?
I don't know. Yeah, top 27 safety all time. Is
the top 25 safety in the Hall of Fame? Who was the top?
I don't know.
I would have to say that they are. We gotta run this back. We gotta pull up a list. But at top 25 safety of all time is that's a lot.
I say he's top 27.
I think he's all right. You got it.
All right, cool. Okay. We
I know people. He's kind of like not enigma, but Mario Williams had a good some years for us. That was a big signing. That was a big signing. He had some years for us. Obviously, maybe didn't live up to like he wasn't Bruce Smith, but he still was a good tight end. And had some Pro Bowl to tight end, defensive end, and had some Pro Bowl season. So I like Mario Williams too. You could throw him up there. Somebody put Tyrod. Tyrod.
Is Cam Chancellor better than Jordan Poyer?
I think so.
Okay. Is it by a long shot though? I'm asking.
Not by a long shot, no. But I think
then.
So.
Cam Chancellor, according to whatever this list is, he's a number 24 safety of all time. Like so, I mean, Jordan Poyer can't be off the beaten path. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. He's not like he's not 47.
Cam Chancellor, he had a higher height. He had a higher height.
Yeah, 4 good years. That's my point.
LaShawn McCoy, we traded for Shady.
He was a trade. LaShawn was a trade.
We traded. We talk about people sign.
Yeah, sign. So let's end the question. Sign.
Yeah.
Sign. So Matt, so I said Jordan Poyer.
I'm gonna say
I am with Mario. I am with Mario. Mine's be Mario.
I'll go with Tyrod, man. I mean, he got us out of the drought. He was one of the most important signings in our lifetime, I would say. Because again, he was the quarterback that got us out of the drought. He kind of led that off for us. I'm gonna say he was one of our best signings. But also too in that Micah Hyde is
Micah Hyde.
Jordan Hood. Micah Hyde was a very the worst signing. I would say that we ever had.
Before you do that, I just want to say this because obviously this stuff is out there. So according to this one, top 5, Ted Washington. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
State of Washington. We signed him. They say he was number 5.
Okay.
Doug Flutie is number 4.
Solid
I didn't know
Flutie.
we signed him. Okay.
They say Doug Flutie is number 4. Number 3 is Micah Hyde. Number 2 is Bryce. I don't know how to pull it.
Bryce Pop.
Linebacker. Pop.
Yeah.
Pop.
Bryce Pop was a beast. Yep.
How long was that? How long? Oh, 1998. Jesus.
Yeah.
So shout out to Bryce Pop. And then Jordan Poyer was number 1 here on this one.
All right.
That's what they said. They said Jordan Poyer. I mean, he's nothing short of amazing. But listen, so all right, I just wanted to throw it out there. All right, so shout out to Poyer, shout out to Matt. Worst signing, real quickly. Somebody said John Brown. John Brown was a good signing.
John Brown was a good signing. Yeah, he was.
Cole Beasley.
I'm gonna give you that. Yeah, I'll give you Cole Beasley. Yeah.
Worst signing. This might be unpopular, but maybe T.O. I mean, it's like you got him at the end of his career. He didn't really vault anything on the offense. Definitely for the hype that it was for him to bring him here. I'm gonna say probably worst would be him. Or you know what? I'll leave it there. You guys can go ahead. I might have an honorable mention later on. We'll go
T.O.
ahead.
Rad.
Worst signing, bro.
Yeah, I mean it's mad signings that was awful.
It's a lot of them. I remember, was it Matt Flynn was the quarterback that was supposed to start over Josh Allen that year? Was it Matt Flynn?
I don't think so.
Who was the quarterback? Somebody was supposed to start over Josh Allen's rookie year. He just got hurt, and Josh Allen started. Who was that guy? Cobb? Was it Cobb? I don't know why I said
I don't remember when Josh Allen came in. I think Josh Allen's a little bit too further than Cobb. Cobb was.
Somebody was supposed to start. Josh Allen wasn't supposed to start. Whoever that guy, we signed him. He wasn't good.
He was terrible. Okay, shout out to him.
Matt,
who was your honorable mention? Just a thought out there.
I'm gonna say probably Charles Clay. Charles Clay for what we paid him, and then he dropped that ball to ruin Josh's perfect streak in Miami.
It's terrible.
Nathan Peterman, we drafted though.
Yeah, we drafted.
He's a fifth round draft. Yeah, Nathan Peterman drafted. So Sir Matt is looking up. So they got Vontae Davis is number 1.
Vontae Davis.
He quit having. That's bad.
They got Charles Clay on here. They got Kevin Cobb. They got Anquan Bolden.
Kevin Cobb. That's why Kevin Cobb was bad.
The person that I wanted to
Anquan Bolden played for the Bills.
Yeah, that's wild. I was looking at. They had this Twitter post.
Did we bring in Vince Young too? I think.
My God.
Yeah.
The players that played on a team that you did not know. That was a wild list.
Anquan Bolden is crazy. I didn't know that.
It's crazy, right?
No way he caught a pass. Did he catch a pass?
And the other person that's on the list is Von Miller. Unfortunately,
he's top 5.
He is definitely top 5, and I think that kind of pushes us to what is going on now. So that's what we're going to talk about. I know people want to talk about the signings and things of that nature, but I kind of want to go to this idea of taking care of business, meaning the people who we re-sign. I kind of want to let's go to the people who we re-sign, and let's talk about that first. And then we can venture off and deal with the signings of our free agents. So let's talk about the people who we re-signed. Matt, as it relates to the people who we re-signed, or I guess even people who we did not re-sign as of yet, are you happy with the re-signings or upset with the re-signing? Obviously, a Rousseau. Obviously, we extended Josh Allen. He's not a re-sign. Well, you know what I'm saying? Well, some of those guys were more so extensions. But I kind of looped them in there. They kind of a little loop it in. We can loop them in there too. But Ty Johnson, we re-signed. You know what I'm saying? So Matt, take it away. The people who we re-signed or didn't re-sign, do you have an issue with it?
No, I don't have an issue. There's like one guy that I really I thought he'd test the market a little longer because I think he was asking for a little more was DeMar Hamlin, but we brought him back. And it is what I'm content with. I'm happy with what we did as far as extension wise and signings so far. I think we took care of business for the most part with guys that we brought back. There's going to be one popular one that everybody's up in arms about, and Mac Hollins, which obviously yes we would have loved to have him back, but it is what it is, and he's gone. Can't cry about it now.
So you're upset that Matt Hollins is gone, and you are.
I'm not
okay with
necessarily
Lamar.
upset. I'm just pointing out that that's the obvious, like, the fan favorite that's gone. That everybody's like, damn, how do we not do that? But it is what it is.
Brad.
Yeah, shout out to Matt Collins. He was interesting. He brought flair and interesting person to the locker room. Definitely, led the team in touchdown catches. So that is a loss. It ain't like he was a nobody. So that is a loss. We did, we potentially, replaced him. We'll see. We talk about it later. But yeah, I'm always good when when majority of your signings are when you re-sign the people you draft. Right, I think that's a good sign, right? We didn't get to everybody yet, right? God, I'm wearing it. Maybe this. I don't know. It's the last time I'm wearing this jersey. Shout out to James Cook. We'll see. James Cook, Benford, those guys, but Rousseau and Bernard, and obviously Josh Allen. People you draft and you believe in, you give them, and some people early, right? We gave Spencer Brown money last year, like people early.
Yeah, that's true.
Shakir.
That's true.
So people like that. That's a good sign of the draft and the GM, or he just giving his players that he drafted money. You could see it like that. You could be a pessimistic person like that too. But I think it's a good thing. I like the signing so far. The re-signings is fine. Ty Johnson is good third down back. He can catch the ball really well. Reggie Gilliam, he do what he do. It was nobody that I thought we brought back. I was like, there's no way we need him back. Now I know Matt did bring up Hamlin, but he did what he had to do. Hopefully he not a starter this year. Hopefully Bishop and Rapp take both of them, put both of them out there, take that job, and he more of a third guy in rotation in that because I think he's just a slightly too slow for me. But besides that, I'm good with the re-signings.
Yeah, sorry, Sam. We re-sign guys that produce for us, which is a good sign. And like you said, Rad, DeMar is really right now for me a security blanket because Rapp and Bishop really can't stay on the field. Is what the tail of the tape has been so far. So that it's good in that sense.
Yeah. To answer Jaheim, Cook is not a free agent. He's not a free agent. So a lot of it. He has 1 more year. So yeah,
he can't get a
and we can what do you call
tag him?
Yeah, we can tag him. So so with this stuff, it's all histrionics. But I think that for me, as it relates to us extending people, Rad is right in a sense, right? Like the idea of extending Rousseau, like when you look at the other contracts and the production that Rousseau gave us, as far as 8 sacks is concerned, that's what he got is in line with the market.
Yeah.
Right. And he may have another gear in him, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? So in theory, we may have got him on a cheaper contract, right? Possibly. It is possible because with this production and what he's doing, like I forget the player. Oh my goodness. But I looked him up. He was with the Commanders, or the Commanders signed him. Either he's a defensive end, regardless. But he's a heavily Sweat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweat had 8 sacks. You know what I'm saying? Montez had 8 sacks. He's a name. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we got Sweat, I'm like, oh my God. But Rousseau had, production is production. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, production to production, and we talked about it, even the Shakir signing, like when you look at it, they're like the 30th receiver as far as career, like the earnings and what they're making by year. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, I think Bean has done a good job as it relates to extending. I don't necessarily mind
early. Yeah,
like for sure. Extending early, going out there. But I guess what we need to talk about is we got to talk about the signings, right? Like the re-signings is one thing. Those are our players. We know them on a personal level, and we have some commitment to them.
Yeah.
But as it relates to free agent signings, right? The biggest one, I guess I would say Joey Bosa. That kind of just happened.
Biggest name.
The biggest name, I should say, even though it was a 1-year, $12 million deal, that was the biggest name. Josh Palmer was a big contentious one, 3-year, $36 million. But realistically, the money that he's getting, he's like the 40th receiver, like as far as the year. I wanted to put that in perspective because it seems like, oh my God, we gave him so much money, but like in reality, he's really not making a lot of money. The defensive line, Mike Hoyt from the Rams, Darrington Evans, Derek Forrest, Larry Agumba Joby, D lineman. Yeah. So Matt, I'm gonna give you the floor. Let's talk about it, man. Let's have a conversation, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the signings? Do you think that we probably should have went in a different direction? So just leave it right there.
So I'm again, I love the name, the Joey Bosa thing. The Joey Bosa thing was interesting to me because of his pass rushing mate guy that I wanted, that I'm sure a lot of people in Buffalo wanted, and Khalil Mack. He signed for 18 for the 1 year, so I thought that Bosa would command the same, if not more. So I think we actually got him on a cheap. I understand injuries play a factor in that. And it's a 50-50 gamble, but if he's 29 years old, and if he's healthy, then that is an immediate boost to the defensive line. It's a guy, right? It's a guy that, he has the name like a Von Miller. We're not getting him at 32 years old. We're getting him a couple years younger, but it is a guy you got to account for on that defense. I do like that signing. Obviously, there's some other guys that were out there that were already gone or whatever. But I do like that signing because we brought everybody, clamors to Bean doesn't do anything. Now he's doing something. So I like it. Where I am kind of gray with that, I wish, on my number one wish list guy this year was Jonathan Allen, defensive tackle from the Redskins. He got, I think, he got I want to say like 20 something a year over in Minnesota. We signed two guys for pretty much his price, which is where I kind of would have rather gotten just one for that price. We got we got Okunjobi from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I had to hit up my boy Stryker. If you're a fan of the show, our guy Stryker, big Steelers guy. Did give me some inside info on him. He said he's a really good run stopper. Played on the same side as and took a lot of attention away from T.J. Watt. So took on a lot of double teams for him to go rush the passer. So that's some positive news in the right direction. And he was healthy. He played 14, 15 games a year for the last 4 seasons. Then the Michael, I believe his last name is Knocked from the Rams. Same deal. Played 17 games every season for the last 4 years. Ran a 4.6 40 at 6'5", 260, and he can play outside and inside. So he's a rotational guy.
I like his tape. His tape.
I'm gonna keep it a stat.
I like this tape.
I listen, when I watched the Rams this year.
Yep.
90s, like I think it's 97, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He showed up.
Got a motor.
I'm not even like he just was active.
Yes.
And when we got him, I'm like, yo, that's that same guy. Like he was he was shaking it up. He shakes it up. Like he's always around. Like you know what I'm saying? He may not always get the quarterback, but he's around the quarterback. I like players like that.
No, absolutely. I 100% agree. So that like when I said I'm gray there, obviously the money issue with the money part was gray, but would I have liked a proven guy in the middle in Jonathan Allen to replace those two? Yes. But I guess we got two guys, one guy with a really good motor and another guy who's proven to take some attention away from pass rushers. So if you put him on a Bosa side or on a Rousseau side, you let those guys go one-on-one, or even Ed Oliver go one-on-one, they've proven that they can eat. So I'm okay. I like that going forward. On the flip side, Josh Palmer, we signed him at $12 million a year. You already went over the market, I guess, for it. I guess another very interesting stat for him, out of 170 receivers in the league, he was 10th in route win rate, 10th overall out of 170. That's on Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase level. He wins routes. We want.
Let's go, Matt. Let's get the analytics, man. Let's dive deep.
How about you?
We want a guy who can win, right? We want a guy who can win those routes, and we
did want that. But listen, let me say this, Matt. Honestly, the signing does feel like they went. And granted, I'm not mad at it. It seems like they were in the room and they said, "Yo, we need somebody who can win." Because our receivers did not, and they looked up analytics and they said, "Oh, Josh Palmer is 10th." Yeah. And we're just like that. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It feels like some what's the movie called? Well, my man,
Moneyball,
the baseball
Moneyball.
movie, Moneyball. It feels like like Josh Palmer is a 1000% Moneyball pick from the standpoint of, okay, we're not gonna go after the upper echelon because obviously Amari Cooper is still out there.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And we're not resigning Amari Cooper. That's just, I mean, I don't like that's out. But what I'm saying is, in theory, we thought that Amari Cooper was going to be that person when we traded for him. A person that can get open, a person that can beat the one-on-one, so on and so forth. He had flashes, maybe a play or two. That's it.
Yeah.
Josh Palmer, I'm just saying, analytics say that he's that guy. Like all the pundits, they're like, Josh Palmer. You know what I'm saying? I would just caution people in saying that he did not play with a bottom 7 quarterback. He played with a top 10 quarterback.
He didn't, but also too, he's coming into a room where there's not an all-pro guy. Like, granted, last year Keenan Allen was gone. That part of it was gone. But he's coming into a group of guys that don't really care who eats, and it's a guy who's the best man of the day. So I think being a young guy coming into that kind of room, playing with a guy like Josh and Dylan, being able to get open and then also playing scramble drill with Josh, I think that is right up his alley. Whereas to Justin Herbert, it isn't Josh in that sense, to where he's going to get rid of the ball and not perform those, get out of the pocket and run around plays. So I like that.
I would say this. I think last year, I mean, it's hard because obviously Ladd McConkey was the top guy, and they didn't throw the ball as much. Harbaugh, they run for his defense. 2 years ago, he had probably his best season, but it was because Keenan Allen and Mike Williams went down, and he was, he's a man. He came up. I had him in fantasy, so I kind of remember he had a decent season. He had like 6-7 touchdowns, probably over 700 yards that year, something like that. He's athletic. I think for me, the signing at first it was like because like the money seemed like not. It's not like I'm not mad Josh Palmer's on the Bills at all. Not even. I mean, he's a good football player. I think he's a serviceable football player. He's an average to above average receiver. The money initially is like, we couldn't got him cheaper than that. But I mean, to get somebody from LA to come to Buffalo, you might have to maybe not overpay, but you got if you want them, you got to go get them. So I'm not mad at that. And the money's not that bad. But I initially like, wow, you giving them $26 million guarantee? Okay, you know what I mean, like. Coming off the Curtis Samuel signing last year, it was just like Josh Palmer. Like, how much is he better than Curtis Samuel? We'll see. I think he is better. For me, I think the signing was it was like Keon Coleman. You on the clock, not on the clock, but like,
yeah, no, you're right. He's on the clock.
You do, bro. Like, this ain't no like, nah. This is like, bro. If this is like this.
Josh Palmer, yo.
I think the top 2 receivers coming in is Shakir and Palmer. I think they're the 2 top receivers, unless Coleman do something. I don't think Coleman got a starting spot coming in this season because right now I think Palmer is better than Coleman today.
What about Samuel?
He might be 3rd. I mean, I don't know. Whoever he fits in, I don't know. It could be Coleman and Samuel is going to be fighting for the 3rd spot for me. I think Palmer and Shakir are the top 2 receivers coming into the off season if something don't shape up. I think Coleman, this is we got somebody that compete with you, that do what you do, and shape up. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but I think it's a direct player that Coleman is that's going to be in front of Keon. Period. I don't see how it's not.
For sure. And it shows too that Brandon Beane has short-term memory. Like a quarterback, you throw an interception, you go ahead and you just repeat the same thing in the Josh Palmer signing. Like you mentioned, we just signed Curtis Samuel for a very similar deal, and there was a lot of outrage towards the end of the season for it. So hopefully he's not 0 for 2 in that sense.
And just to talk about the Bosa point, I think the Bosa it's low risk, high reward. Low risk, high reward is 1-year deal. And it's a proven deal. Like if Bosa want a last contract from anywhere, he got to show up, right?
Yep. It's like a Leonard Floyd type of deal. If we can get that same production, 15 sacks or whatever,
he's gonna be motivated to stay. He's gonna be motivated to get double-digit sacks. He's gonna be motivated to finish out his career, one last contract somewhere. So it's a high risk. Low risk, high reward type of signing. I think it's a beautiful signing. We need pass rushing. That was the difference in the Chiefs game. The Chiefs game, our D line got beat up. The pass rush was bad, and I think Brandon Beane addressed it aggressively, and I liked it.
and it's also a guy who saw Pat twice a year for the last couple of years too. So I like that too.
And I'll say this: I think that you can't put. It's hard to tie up so much money on your defensive line. We are paying people on our defensive line. Russo, Ed Oliver, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like we're not. They definitely put money to the defensive line, and I think that they've done a good job even now,
adding the addition,
bolstering that up. Like the Bosa contract is really, for me, it's probably the best signing because it's not risky at all. It's just 1 year, $12 million. It's nothing. It's mere bag of shells. Like it's over and done with. No dead cap, no nothing. We could have overpaid and done some crazy stuff to resign Bosa. I think, or you know what I'm saying? Like, we could have gave him, like, you know what I'm saying, 15, 16, 17, but like 12, what's 12
multiple
million
years or something. We gave him $12 million.
Yeah, some silly stuff. Yeah, 1 year, prove it deal. I like it. I love the Michael Knock. I think that's amazing. I really like that signing. So I'm not upset at what we've done in free agency. I'm not upset at what we've done in free agency. Could we have gone after different players? Maybe. Do I think that we need secondary help? Yes.
Is there somebody that y'all wanted that went off the board? Is that my question? Somebody that y'all wanted that went off the board? Like, man.
Well, Matt said Jonathan Allen.
Okay, Jonathan.
And there's
DJ Reed. I thought we could have went to DJ Reed.
Right now, there's a guy still on the board, which I think that we are in contention for, which is Asante Samuel. I mean, we're getting a haul from LA teams. I think he's 24 years old. You have him in Benford for another 6 to 8 years. Because we're obviously gonna redo Benford at some point here, and you bring a guy like that, and you solidify that 1-2 punch right there. But also, on talks to the secondary, we traded Kyer Elam today for picks, so we now have 10 draft picks in this upcoming draft. I think Bean's gonna wheel and deal, and possibly move in, grab a corner, or we could package something together for a Jair Alexander that wants out of Green Bay, that's been given permission to get out of Green Bay. So I don't think he's done yet.
I mean, that remains to be seen, but I think that for me, just to say this, I said DJ Reed, Paulson Adebo. I honestly think we need cornerback help on a real level, and I thought that there were cornerbacks out there where I would have been fine with. I mean, I like Asante Samuel. I think he gets beat a lot, but maybe if you put him in the right system, that might work. Byron Murphy. Like, I'm just saying, like, there were cornerbacks out there. I don't know what. Maybe that's just. I think that's a need, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, Slay, I agree.
He was out there. It was people out there.
Even Javon Holland, even to say, like, he's an amazing, like, he's a good safety. All I'm saying is, I thought our secondary needed just a little bit more help, a little bit more bolstering. Maybe I'm wrong. Do y'all feel the same way? Does anybody out there feel the same way?
Yeah, we got to replace Rasul, right? I mean, that's what it is. I mean, right now it's Teron Johnson and Benford.
It's Benford, Teron Johnson, and Jamarcus Ingram, pretty much. And then you got Cam Lewis too. That's coming off a good season. But that's it. We got 4.
He's not a cover guy.
I mean, yeah. Normally we keep 6 or 7, so that's got to be a priority. I think coming up. I mean, obviously we brought in the safety from Washington, but he's a guy on a flyer, so I don't know too much about him. Brought back Hamlin, but we definitely got to bring in. I think we're not done.
No, of course not. It's only 2 days. It's only been 2 days. Of course not.
Somebody said C.J. Mosley.
I'm good. I think Dorian Williams, whatever Dorian Williams have in his left toe, is better than what C.J. Mosley got. I'm no disrespect C.J. Mosley. I think his prime is past him. Shout out to C.J. Mosley, but
yeah, I mean our linebackers right now, you can put any of them on the field. I think they bring more production than him at this point in his career. I think
if he wants to be a linebacker. Come on.
Like Rad said, no disrespect to CJ, but I think you put any of those 3 linebackers on the field, they overproduce a lot of linebackers in the NFL right now. So it's just not even any shade at him. So
do y'all have a wish list?
Yeah, I mean, well, right now for me, Asante Samuel's on, the one on my wish list right now. And as far as corners go, and then. That's really it. Jonathan Allen and him were it for me, really. And obviously a DN, Bosa took that for me. He wasn't necessarily on my wish list, but that type of caliber guy was. So I'm happy with that as well.
I didn't really have a wish list, right? Obviously, I wanted, a high Indian. I mean, Bosa is what we end up with. I want, Hendrick if Hendrickson was really available. Obviously, Max Crosby, and Garrett resigned. He probably gonna resign too, because the cap went up $30 million. So it's hard to get these people away from their team or trade, because the team they with is just gonna resign them. So I didn't necessarily have the biggest wish list. I think what Bean has done, I think Bean is fine to the edges. He gonna do his thing in the draft, and I think we're gonna be retooled and ready to go again. I mean, obviously, gonna do something. I think the secondary is still something I want to improve on. We got to replace Rasul Douglas. Even if I'm not even totally mad if we bring it back Rasul. I'm not. I won't be like, oh my god, I don't think he's done and dead. But that's the one thing I just want to tell. I mean, he had his ups and downs, but I think he's somebody that we can get it done with.
So I guess we can ask this question. We can put a button hook on it. Is it still in Bean we trust? Is it like a blind eye? Bean, cook up, do what you need to do? Is that where we're at as a franchise, as a fan base? Like when we look at that, is it still in Bean we trust?
Yeah, I think his resume has spoken for that. And I mean, he like I said, he is trying. He's addressing, things that the average fan, is asking for. So it's he's on the right track, at least to the armchair quarterbacks that we are. So I'm okay with him, man. He's done enough as far as getting guys, drafting guys, bringing in some key signings to help year by year. I'm okay with him in Being we trust.
Yeah, I think it's in Being we trust for sure. I think
Rad got the little one. It's all good. It's all good. You got to take care of it. I believe Rad is saying it's in Being we trust. For me, I think it's the same thing. I mean, Bean has done a great job. He's done a great job with the football team. Obviously, nobody is perfect. Some blunders. I think that for me, though, I will say in going into the draft and even into this, like I think we're still in win now mode. We're definitely in win now mode.
Yep.
So I want us to go for it, whatever that looks like. And what we've seen in recent history is that teams are mortgaging their future to win a Super Bowl. Right, we've seen the Rams do it. Even with the Eagles, we've seen the Eagles had to, they had to let go of a few players, and that all that money is eventually going to come into play, like because they have all those players like that they're going to get either dead cat or those players are just going to be great. You know what I'm saying? They have to fit either or. But I'm just saying, like most teams are mortgaging future, putting the money, like giving big signing bonuses, putting all the big money on the back end, restructuring low contracts, so on and so forth. They're doing all of these things, but they're really in win now mode, right? Whatever it takes to win now, and I believe that that's where we need to be, right?
I would say most teams. It's rare. Obviously, last year, the team that just won just signed Saquon Barkley in the offseason. And they pretty much put him over the top. But that's rare. That's not the norm. That's not the norm. You just can't go that one signing.
Yes, you can. People are mortgaging the future.
But that one signing, well, for one, Saquon Barkley shouldn't have been a free agent. Obviously, he was too good, and it was crazy that the Giants didn't pay him. So someone like that don't come around often.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like one signing doesn't change the franchise. Okay,
yes, I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We want this one magic. We close, and we want this one magic player that being signed. We thought it was Von Miller. We want these. We wanted another somebody else. Whatever it was. That's not necessarily how. I think for me, I still in Being we trust because he still get it done through the draft. And I think ultimately that's how you build championships. Through the draft, interior, I think the O-line, D-line is he continued to revamp and do good there in the draft. He's still hitting, still like Benford Williams. He's still hitting in the draft. I know we have to see on Coleman. Elam was just traded. But besides that, all these other guys have been hitting. And I think the people who don't pan out, he get off early. Or he just get off, right? Edmonds, he got off. Elam, he got off. People he get off. He's not trying to string the people we don't like along. So I think I still think is in Being we trust. He still get it done through the draft. It's not just free agency that he just thinking one sign is gonna get it done. So I still trust it.
So let me ask this question. I see it in the comments with us not like in Being we trust, right? And sometimes you can fall in love with the players that you drafted, right? We've seen GMs do that. We did not get any quote unquote linebacker help. Somebody asked about CJ Mosley, but obviously we know that Terrell Bernard, he's not injury prone, but he's prone to injury. I think Dorian Williams, we've seen even though he played through it, he's prone to somewhat injury. But Matt Milano is injury prone, right? Mm-hmm. Like he is injury prone and for extended periods of time. So do y'all think that, Matt Milano coming back last year, he kind of struggled in the beginning, kind of came on a little bit at the end. Do you think, Matt, that we're going to get a 100% healthy Matt Milano going into the season? Like, this is it. And if it's not it, then we need to really look somewhere else.
Yeah, and like Rad said, I think Bean has shown, too, he's really not afraid to cut bait if he really has to. Can I say he's going to be 100% this year? But you mentioned it, man. Dorian Williams, he either matches or even has a little bit more production, than Milano if he is out. So we do have
banged up Milano. A truly healthy Milano is an All-Pro.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But I mean, Dorian Williams showed that he could step in and plug right in this year. So I if he's not, then I'm not too worried about it. But it's going to come down to money with Matt Milano. If he's going to continue to get injured, Bean's not going to keep it around. He's going to try to shop that out and save some money to get somebody else for the future, I think.
To Sean's question, yeah, I feel like I'm banking on it. You know what I'm saying? If it's not, then we adjust like we do. But going into the season, I want Milano, and I feel like he should be 100%. I want to be 100%. My expectation of him is to get 100% this year. I think if he's healthy, the defense, because the defense as a whole overall took a step back, right? This Sean McDermott defense usually top 3, 4, 5. It was not. It was middle of the pack. We took a step back. We gave up a lot of points, a lot of yards and points. We led in turnovers. That was a difference. Our turnovers went up. Now turnovers year to year is not something you can count on. So I think ultimately, the defense ultimately is going to have to. It's going to ride on somebody like Milano being 100% healthy. So we'll see.
Shout out to the question. Shout out to everybody in the comments. We just wanted to come on, talk about the free agency, kind of give our thoughts about it. We know the draft is coming up. There's a lot to have to happen. There are some free agents out there, so we will keep our eyes on it. If we need to do emergency pods, we will do so. So we appreciate everybody on today. We know the kids is coming. They got to get the attention. So shout out to everybody on. We appreciate that. Like, share, rate, and review. Subscribe to all of our channels. Shout out to Buffalo Fan Base. Shout out to AOG The Lounge. So please go tap into that. Matt, you have anything to say about that?
No, just be on the lookout for all the promotions we'll have going on this season. It's going to be a good partnership for everybody that's involved. I know a lot of they have the games every week. They have events for Bills action. They're going to have a lot of things going on, and they're going to show us some love along the way. So stay tuned and be ready for that.
Okay, so y'all know how we end every show with a little bit of that. Hey.
Peace.
Only Buffalo is going to win it, folks.
Kick your heels up and down.
We'll see why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.
Buffalo Bills go undefeated. And we're going to the Super Bowl.
Now, baby, come on.